Okay, I think we'll just get started. Marta, can you hear me? Hello, hello, hello. You should be able to hear me talking. Okay, cool. And you see the screen and everything? Okay, so I have a couple of people on this class specifically, but I'll make it slightly generic because it'll be recorded if anyone wants to watch it later. So my name is Becky, and I'm just teaching a little intro to essential oils class. I got into the oils, well, I'll talk about that in a second. Okay, how do I make this go? Okay, so before we start, you might want to have a paper and pen for notes just in case there's anything you want to jot down. And then I also suggest that you might want to have the doTERRA price list. I'm not sure whether you'll be able to copy this link, but you can open up another browser window and Google doTERRA price list, and it should be the first link. So if there are essential oils that we talk about that you're interested in, you can kind of use that as a little checklist. And then also I like you to have that because then you know how much things cost, because I really hate when people are talking about things and I don't know how much they cost. So I recommend perhaps pulling that up as well. So this is just a quote that I think is good. One of the consequences of general unawareness of the body's healing system is that too many people lack confidence in their own innate abilities to deal with common health problems. Instead of relying on the wisdom of their bodies, they seek the attention of healthcare professionals and vastly overuse medical services. Ah! Okay, having problems. Just kidding. Okay, so I like this quote because I think that it talks to a lot of the issues that we have with our healthcare system right now. However, I am not anti-medicine. I'm not saying that doctors are bad. Doctors are amazing, and we live in the best country that we possibly could live in for surgery or major health issues when things really go wrong. But as far as preventative health care, we're not doing so great at that. But I also want to say that I'm not a doctor, but I use these oils. I'm just a normal person, and I've really had amazing effects with them. So, oh, I had nice animation, but it went away. So these were kind of some of the issues that I was dealing with before I got into the oils. Top left, my main issue was allergies. And I was in grad school. I'm an opera singer, and one day, well, I always had really horrible seasonal allergies. And one day, one of my friends who was in the same program with me asked me if I wanted to try essential oils for my allergies. And I thought she was crazy, even though I had used herbs before and I was kind of raised on Eastern medicine. I really thought that essential oils were just to smell nice and just for perfume purposes. So I thought she was really weird when she asked me to try them for my allergies. So I refused. And eventually she just said, oh, you're miserable. I'm just going to give them to you. So she gave me lavender, peppermint, and lemon. And I thought, okay, fine. I didn't have to pay for these. I'll try them. And I did. And my symptoms subsided immediately. And I actually don't even have allergies anymore. I always had debilitating seasonal allergies in the spring and the fall. And now I have zero problems with allergies. So it actually fixed the problem in my body, which was amazing. So then I got really interested, and I ended up getting a kit of oils and really trying them out. I was experiencing really low energy. I had migraines usually had 1 or 2 a month pretty regularly. Horrible menstrual cramps all the time and occasional stomach aches. And I was also diagnosed with an anxiety disorder when I was in grad school. So these were all of the things that I started using oils for right away. My energy levels are much higher. I haven't had a migraine in over a year now. I have had wonderful success with treating my menstrual cramps. I got off my medication for that. And I'm also off anxiety medication, and I'm just treating that naturally with the oils. Okay, so hey, here's some oils. That was me smelling the oils. That's my little allergy trio, so I love those. Yeah, so I got my kit, and then I just started sharing them with people naturally. I never anticipated that I would do anything like this as a business. I thought that multi-level marketing type things were pyramid schemes, and I was really concerned for my friend that got me into it. I was like, oh, you have to stop doing this. And but she explained it to me. I did a lot of research, and they're just the best quality oils that you could possibly get. So I did a lot of research before I chose doTERRA, but they're the best ones. So people at work started asking me what I was using, and I would let them borrow some of my oils to try them out, and they wanted me to teach a class. So that's how I stumbled into doing the business. And I never really thought that it would be a big thing for me, but I really enjoy it, and I love sharing them with people because I think they're something that everyone can use and really enjoy. So that's how I got started. Okay, so you might want to jot this down. What are your top 3 health concerns? How long have they been an issue for you? And how would solving these issues change your life? So it could be something small, like I get occasional headaches or stomach aches or menstrual cramps. It could be something a little bit bigger, like debilitating asthma or debilitating allergies or asthma, or some muscle joint pain, things like that. Or it could be something really, really big, like arthritis and autoimmune disease, cancer. You can find natural solutions for all of those things. So we'll move on. So modern medicine, right? It's designed to manage symptoms made from isolated synthetic agents, which basically means that they take one element of a natural compound and try to mimic that synthetically. But since it's synthetic, we have lots of side effects, some of which they know about and some of which they kind of find out later. I know that with my allergy medication, it made me feel really, really drowsy and kind of just drugged up. And it also dried me out, which was a really big problem as a singer because you have to stay really hydrated for your instrument to work correctly. So that was a big problem for me. And it's just, it's a huge industry, right? It creates a lot of money. And the industry relies on us depending on pharmaceuticals and doctors for all of the answers. So are we healthier because of that? Is a pain reliever that we're taking helping your body actually, or is it maybe hurting your body a little bit in the long run? So conversely, Nature Solutions, it's preventative medicine. So it treats symptoms as well as giving our body what it needs to heal. So I had that experience with my allergies that right away, within seconds, I felt symptomatic relief, and then it healed my body, right? I don't even have allergies anymore. Same thing with my migraines. Each oil has hundreds or thousands of compounds, and each one has a different therapeutic benefit. So what that means is that if you take lavender, there are hundreds of things that you can use lavender for because each compound in that oil has a different benefit. So if you look up, there's a really great book, I think I mentioned it later, called Modern Essentials. I call it the Oils Bible because it has so much information, more information than you would really ever even have to know, lots of scientific stuff. But it has a page on each oil, and they have just tons and tons of uses for every single oil. So I just opened up my book to one. It's grapefruit oil. Just the common uses are drug addictions, anorexia, appetite suppressant, bulimia, cellulite, dry throat, edema, gallbladder stones, hangovers, lymphatic decongestant, mental stress, miscarriage, obesity, overeating, performance stress, PMS, slimming / toning, stress, and withdrawal. So those are just a couple of the things that it does. So they're really, you can use them for a lot of different things. So it's great if you just have the one oil that it's not only for one issue, you can use them for several issues, which is great, which makes them a lot cheaper to use than synthetic medicines. So this is a peppermint leaf, and magnified many, many times, we have these little sacs down here, and that's where the oil is on this particular plant. It doesn't always come from the leaf. Sometimes it comes from the flower, from the stem, from the roots, from the bark. Citrus oils come from the rind, and we've all had that experience, I think, of eating an orange, and then for hours afterwards, you smell that orange oil on your fingers because when you pressed the rind, the oil came out. So basically, the oil is extracted normally through a steam distillation process, and then we have this really concentrated oil. So if you have your peppermint oil with you, you can open that, smell it. If you have a headache or you're feeling tired, I like to put it on my temples or on the back of my neck, and it kind of wakes me up and relieves any stress or tension that I might be feeling. So that 1 drop of peppermint oil that you just used is equivalent to 28 cups of peppermint tea. So it's super potent, which means that you don't need very much of it. So normally 1 drop is enough. It's enough of a dose. And the 15 milliliter bottles, which is the standard size of all the oils, has 250 drops in each bottle. So if you think about whatever the price of that oil is divided by 250, that's going to be a lot less than pretty much any synthetic drug that you would be using, whether it's a prescription drug or over the counter. Plus, they tend to work a lot faster. So one of my favorite things about the oils, especially as a singer where I have to stay really healthy, is that oils can help you with bacteria and viruses. So I tell people all the time that I haven't been sick in 2 years, and I started using the oils 2 years ago, and to me that's crazy. I used to get pretty sick at least 2 times a year, normally more like 3, and that was a problem. I couldn't sing, I couldn't perform, and nobody likes being sick anyway. So, and I've been to the doctor plenty of times, and they said, oh, it's a virus, go home, eat chicken soup. But this office visit is going to cost you whatever your copay is, or when I didn't have insurance, $200. So it's much better just whenever I feel something coming on, or even if I'm around someone who's been sick, I always go home and use my oils, and I can use the same oils for viruses and bacteria. They will deal with both. And the reason that they're able to work with viruses, as you can kind of see from this graphic, is that they're small enough molecularly to go through the cell membrane on the outside and attack the virus. And since they're so complex chemically, we don't build up an immunity to them. So we're not going to have that same issue that a lot of people have with antibiotics where they get immune. So why doTERRA? And it's important. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about why I chose this company to work for. And work for me, that there are a lot of different grades of essential oils. So most essential oils are synthetic, and these are things like perfumes, candles, a lot of the times things that you'll find in lotions or, skincare products, things like that. They're totally made in a lab. They're not natural at all. And then there's food grade, which is more like the peppermint that you have in peppermint gum or mints or things like that, some sort of food flavoring. And the FDA calls that generally regarded as safe, which I don't find super reassuring. And then there's therapeutic grade, which is a grade that, sure, they'll say, oh yeah, this has some sort of therapeutic benefit. And you can get this grade of oils at most health food stores or even at Whole Foods. But if you look at the bottles, they almost always say something about, some warnings about putting them on your skin, and certainly a warning about taking them internally, that they don't condone doing that. And it's because they don't really know what the quality of the oil is. So when doTERRA started, it's a pretty young company. It's only been around for 8 years. And they just felt like there wasn't a company that had high enough grade essential oils, so they wanted to start one. So they came up with their own distinction, the CPTG, which means Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade. And we'll talk a little bit more about what that means and how it's different. So basically, there are a lot of different tests that an oil needs to go through in order to determine purity, potency, and therapeutic benefit. And I went to a convention, nerd alert, about this. And yeah, they had a lot of scientists showing us I'm not extremely scientific, but they showed us graphs of, okay, this is what happens when you test cinnamon. And this is what kind of the graph looks like that you get out after this test. And then here's what it looks like when you test cassia. And they're both very similar plants. And actually cassia is a much less expensive version of cinnamon. And that's actually what we're buying almost all of the time when we go and buy cinnamon powder, for instance. But therapeutically, they have really different benefits. The cinnamon has a lot stronger benefits. So it's important to know which one is which. And a lot of companies only do one of these tests or maybe two. So they don't even really know how pure it is. They don't know if it has extra fillers in it. But doTERRA really wanted to be different. So it goes through a lot of third-party testing. And if it's not good enough, they send out an email to everyone and they say, sorry, we're going to be out of this oil for a while. It wasn't up to our standards, so we ran out of it, which is great. Actually, the most expensive oil that the company has is out of stock right now because their batch wasn't up to stuff. So even though they're losing money, it's nice that they're not putting substandard oil out there. So they grow the plants and they're harvested in their natural habitat. So the lemon comes from Italy, the lavender comes from France, the frankincense comes from Oman. And that's important because that can really affect the quality of the oil, the soil that it's grown in, the climate that it's in, the sunlight it gets, all sorts of things like that. And then they're completely organic. There's never any pesticides used on them. They're all GMO free, everything like that. And doTERRA is really good they have a really good relationship with all of their growers, and they go out there and they make sure that their farms and growing practices are up to snuff. And if they're not, then they help them get there. So they source plants from all over the world. So if they're going to get a new oil, they search the planet to find the best plant material. And then they harvest it and distill it for oil potency and quality. And 18 of the 26 countries doTERRA sources oil from are developing countries. So through this, they're creating jobs and providing income in countries where that's needed. And then they develop long-term relationships with them as well. And at first, this wasn't really something that I felt was super important to me, but I've changed my mind. So for instance, vetiver oil, and they talked about this at the convention that I went to as well. The vetiver comes from a small town in Haiti, which is the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. And the producers of the vetiver were having a lot of challenges. Their income wasn't sustainable, so they often had to harvest the plants before it was ideal, the ideal time for the plants to be harvested. And they still couldn't afford normal things that most of us enjoy. So doTERRA went there and they helped the growers form a cooperative in their community so that they can get income year-round and get a higher fair price. And then they also didn't have access to water. They had to walk 90 minutes in each direction to get 1 gallon of water for the day, and it wasn't even drinkable. They had to boil it first. So doTERRA built a well and ran a pipeline of clean running water to the village. And then they noticed that the school in the town didn't have desks or a teacher. So doTERRA has a Healing Hands Foundation, it's called. It's like their, their kind of outreach and charity foundation. And they gave them the tools that they needed. And then just this year, through doing all of that, the company's created 7,000 jobs in Haiti. So that was just important to me. And as I learned about the company more, that I just realized that the people that run it are really good people and that the company is doing a lot of good things in the world. So I feel better about supporting that. Okay, so how do you use these things? There are 3 ways. You can use them aromatically, which is breathing them in, right? Or you can put them in a diffuser. There's one of the diffusers is pictured there. You can use them topically. So putting them right on your skin. A lot of people want to dilute them first. That's normally a good idea just to avoid any sensitivity. And putting them on your feet is a really great way to use them topically because our feet have the biggest pores in our body. They absorb into our bloodstream very, very quickly. And there's also reflexology reasons of where on your feet you would want to put them, but I'm normally too lazy. I just kind of slap it on in the middle of my foot and know that it's going to work from there. And then you can also take them internally, which is something that is distinct to doTERRA because we know that the oils are pure enough to be taken internally, and they are natural and they are from plants, so that makes perfect sense to be able to use them that way. So we'll just go through some of the most common oils and a couple of things you can do. So if you have your oils with you, smell them while we're talking about them, or if there's a way that you want to use them now or later today, go ahead and write that down and remember it. So lavender is an oil that most people are aware of. So it's very, very calming. It's calming to the skin. It's calming to the psyche. doTERRA's lavender comes from France. Yeah, it's one of the most versatile of essential oils. So you can use it for so many things. But for me, I know putting it on bug bites in the summer, when I've gotten bug bites, it'll stop itching immediately. Or if I've burned myself, you can put it right on a burn and it'll stop the burn immediately. So it's really great. So that's lavender. Oh no, it's not going to show me the after pictures over here. But there was some really amazing before and after that a friend of mine posted of their baby that really whacked their head, and then they used frankincense and lavender and it was almost completely gone. And my graphic isn't working. Sorry about that. Okay, lemon. So lemon, doTERRA's lemon comes from Italy. It's really great to soothe a sore throat. You can put some on your lymph nodes or behind your earlobes if you have a sore throat, or take it in a drop of honey. You can have it in your water. It's a really good external cleaner and internal cleaner. So if you're using it to clean your countertops or your sinks, that's really great, but also it can help clean inside your body. really great to diffuse. It helps lift your mood. All of the citrus oils are really, really great for that. And it has really strong antiviral and antibacterial effects. So if you have, you know, again, if you're getting sick, if you feel something coming on, lemon is a really, really good one to use. Something that's important to talk about is that citrus oils dissolve petrochemicals. So petrochemicals are just some kind of chemical that is found in most synthetic things such as plastics. So if you are going to drink lemon internally or even clean with it, it's better to find a container for that that is made out of something natural. So glass is always a good option, as so is metal. Just something to be aware of. Peppermint. Peppermint is really cooling, can be used to wake you up. It's really great for headaches or for fevers or muscle pain, including PMS symptoms. It's really great. I love having it in the car if I'm doing a long drive, going to an audition or something, and I need something to kind of keep me awake at night. I get really sleepy. So I have a little car diffuser, but even just smelling the peppermint right out of the bottle or putting it in your hands, smelling it that way is really wonderful. Again, really good for digestion. So you can either take it internally or just rub it right on your stomach, and that'll help. Oregano is one of those really, really amazing oils for especially antibiotics. It's actually been tested against synthetic antibiotics a lot, and it definitely rivals the effectiveness of the synthetic ones. In pretty much every test, it is beat out that for just being able to kill bacteria faster and more completely. So you can put that in an empty capsule, putting it on the bottoms of your feet. It's good for cleaning out your GI system. It is pretty intense. I mean, it smells like oregano. It smells like a pizza. But you can see on the screen that there's this D right here, and that just means definitely dilute this oil. It's what we call a hot oil because it's missing an electron, and it can just cause a little bit of heat and skin irritation. So all you have to do is just dilute it in any sort of oil. It could be coconut oil, jojoba oil, almond oil, even olive oil if you want. Just make sure that you dilute it on your skin so that you don't have any irritation. Frankincense. Frankincense is my favorite oil for sure. Our frankincense comes from Oman, which is just south of Saudi Arabia. And it comes out of the dried resin of a tree that grows in the desert. It's historically probably the most prized oil in the world. It has so many healing properties, and it's really multi-purpose that you just really want to have this one. It's the most researched oil. There's been a ton of research done on cancer. I think I have a slide about that. We will find out. Really great for anxiety, great for immunity, good for your skin, supports healthy tissue growth, and will actually kill unhealthy tissue, which is part of the reason that it's so great in for cancer and things like that. It says when in doubt, use frankincense, and that's really true. If something's going on and you're not sure what to use, there's a really good chance that frankincense is going to help you out. Here's a couple more things. Analgesic, healthy immune response, depression, nervous tension, disorders of the uterus, wrinkles, so many things that it's really, really great for. Right, so over here we can see no treatment. The cancer cells are those oblong cells. And yeah, this is after treatment with internal frankincense use. And that's pretty crazy. Most of the cancer cells are gone. So a lot of people have used this successfully with cancer. It's really amazing. Oh, and also for neurological disorders, because it's able to pass the blood-brain barrier. So for instance, my grandma has Alzheimer's, and every time that my mom goes to visit her, which is about every week, my mom brings a little bottle of frankincense, and she puts a little bit on the back of my grandma's neck, because that's where your brainstem is, and then she also has her inhale it, and it's not going to cure her Alzheimer's, but she's more clear and she's more present and with it when my mom is there, which, as most of us know how this goes, that's really important. Okay, Deep Blue is one of my favorite ones, and it's really great for string players because strings get really sore from playing their instrument. And I know my boyfriend is a cellist, and he always has he calls them his cello muscles that get really sore. So this is a great thing to just put on anything that's aching or really painful. Actually, right before I got on the webinar today, I just got back from New York. I was there for 30 hours for an audition. It was really short, and I wanted, I didn't want to bring that much stuff. So I brought this kind of duffel bag, and it ended up being heavier than I thought, carrying it around New York, and my back was really hurting me today. So I just took, it comes in an oil form, and it also comes in a rub, like a lotion, kind of like Bengay, but the natural, more awesome version. So my lower back was really hurting. I just got a little bit, rubbed it right on my back, and I don't feel my back hurting at all anymore. I've also seen it work wonders within seconds on people with arthritis swelling that pretty much never goes down. You can just put it right on there. So it's really, really, really amazing. And it works really quickly. Breathe. Okay. Breathe is an amazing respiratory blend. So if you're feeling stuffed up for any reason, whether it's allergies, you're sick, you have asthma, a lot of chronic asthma sufferers will just apply it to their chest and their feet or diffuse it in a room. I also know people with asthma that put a drop in their hand and, kind of make a little fist with their hand with they leave an opening near the top, and they kind of, breathe in through that, kind of like a inhaler. Yeah, my friend Marissa, that's what she did for her asthma, and she had really, really bad chronic asthma, and now she's completely off all inhalers, and it's not an issue for her anymore. So this oil is really, really great. You can, again, feel it working right away. It's a good one just to breathe in and have in your diffuser overnight if getting stuffed up is a problem for you. Digest Zen. It does what it sounds like it does. It's really great for digestive support. So whether it's just I ate too much food, or I had spicy food, or anything like that, if I have any sort of stomach discomfort, I'll just rub it right on my stomach. This is one that I make sure I have in my purse with me all the time. I got to New York the other day. I went out for Mexican food with my friend, and we ate so much food and both felt like beached whales. And I just took out my Digestion and we rubbed it on our stomachs, and I felt better 5 minutes later. It's really great to take internally, especially if you have some sort of chronic digestion issue. For instance, it wasn't extremely chronic, but I had kind of frequent acid reflux, which is really bad as a singer because the acid goes up to your vocal cords. So if I ate something late at night, or if I had spicy food and I felt like this might be an issue for my reflux, I just took a drop internally and haven't had an issue since. It's really, really great. So On Guard. This is probably my oil that if I could only have one oil on a desert island, I would want this one. This is what you want to have around whenever you're getting sick, if you're around anyone else who's sick, any of those kind of things. You can use it every day to boost your immune system. And they have, On Guard's really popular, and they've made a bunch of different products. And one of my favorite things is the toothpaste, actually, because A, I love the taste of it, and B, then I'm getting my On Guard every day, and I'm supporting my immune system every time I brush my teeth. Plus, most toothpastes have a lot of chemicals in them that are actually quite toxic. So it's nice to be using something natural as an alternative. And I just love it. But you can put it on the bottoms of your feet, like before you go to bed is a good thing, or while you're getting dressed in the morning before you put your socks on, just having a little bit of On Guard. You can take it internally in a capsule, gargle with it. And yeah, doTERRA makes hand soap. They make laundry detergent. There's all sorts of On Guard things. They make a cleaning spray. It's really, really great to clean with because it'll get rid of everything. It'll get rid of all those germs, the viruses, the bacteria. So I love On Guard. It's amazing. Balance. Balance is, well, also, it's probably my favorite oil blend. I think frankincense is my favorite single oil. Balance for my anxiety has just been incredible. I tend to just take a drop of it and put it on the bottoms of my feet, and I can feel myself calming down immediately if I'm feeling like I'm getting really anxious about something. I just love the way it smells, and it's also really relaxing, so it's a good one to use for sleep as well. Intune, another amazing blend. I just love the way it smells, so I just sometimes want to use it as perfume, but it's really great for focusing and for attention if you have to sit down and do something. Again, my cellist boyfriend loves this blend, and he always makes jokes about it because it's called Intune, and he was like, no, seriously, it helps me play in tune. So he wanted to get his own bottle, and he even made a little label for it with his name in bubble letters like a 12-year-old girl so that he knew that it was his. Yeah, it's really great to use, you know, before you do yoga or if you meditate or something like that. It just kind of puts you in that focused, calm state of mind. So that's another great oil that I really love. So in addition to oils, doTERRA has a couple supplement things, and yeah, I'm really not very eloquent today, but here are some supplements. There's the Lifelong Vitality Pack. It's their #1 selling product, and I started using it because I felt really tired, basically, and I was thinking, oh, you know, I'm too young for this. Also, I have a lot of inflammation, especially in some of my joints. I'm double jointed, and I've always kind of had joint inflammation issues, and I haven't been able to find a remedy for that. Basically, it's just really, really, really balanced supplements that are really powerful anti-inflammatory, antioxidant type things. Do I have another slide describing? Okay, good. So this Microplex VMC, that's basically your multivitamin, and it's really very balanced. Sometimes these multivitamins have 50 milligrams of everything, and it's kind of turns out to be very expensive urine if we've ever kind of looked at our pee and seen that it's neon afterwards. That's just our body not being able to process all of those vitamins and minerals. So then we just eliminate them, which isn't fun because you paid for that. So it's really, really balanced. I started noticing when I was using these that wasn't happening anymore. Then the XE Omega is your essential fatty acids. So they do have a version with fish oil, and then they also have a vegan version that doesn't have that in there. And there's also a blend of essential oils that are just great to have every day to naturally detox, help calm any digestive issues. Frankincense is in there, which I love because that's the one that's anti-cancer and, you know, just amazing, amazing, really good to have. And then probably my favorite one is the Alpha CRS, which is really what's helping with the anti-inflammatory, just helping your cells, helping repair your cells, helping your cells to have more energy and things like that. So they're really, really amazing. And if you ever want to try them, doTERRA has a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you use them for 30 days and you don't feel markedly better, you can return them and they completely refund your money, which is really great. And I don't know anyone who has done that. Most people are just totally hooked after they start using them. They're really amazing. I talk about this a little bit, this Candida syndrome. Sometimes it's just this gut flora that can cause all sorts of bad things to happen. It's a naturally occurring yeast, but it's meant to decompose our body when we die. But because of our diet, a lot of the times it kind of gets out of control. So sometimes we need to do some cleansing and get that out of there. Here's some common Candida symptoms. So there are all sorts of things on here, and some of these could stem from other things. But yeah, I was having these chronic energy issues. I couldn't get out of bed in the morning. I didn't know why. So I started using the Lifelong Vitality. I felt a lot better, but I still felt like it could be better. So, you know, I saw that fatigue is chronic fatigue is a symptom of Candida. So I decided to do a cleanse, and I felt unbelievably more energetic afterwards. It was crazy. And I also have a friend with lupus, which is an autoimmune disease, and she tried doing the cleanse too, and she was just, what she had to say was crazy, that she was blown away by how much better she felt. So again, along with the Lifelong Vitality, there's a cleanse protocol that you can do where you're taking the GX Assist is basically what's helping cleanse your system of the Candida. But you're taking that while you're doing the Lifelong Vitality Trio. And the thing about that is that you're getting rid of the bad stuff, but you're putting good stuff back in. So you're not going to have those horrible cleanse side effects that we're all worried about. You know, like we're going to be in the bathroom all the time, or we're going to have no energy, or, you know, we think that it's going to be starving ourselves. It's not. You can eat normally. So I had 0 negative side effects while I was doing it. And you can always cut back if you feel any sensitivity. Just take less of the GX Assist. It's okay. And then you go back in, you do a really great probiotic to get those gut flora going again. So yeah, I mean, this just kind of outlines it. There is a kit that has everything that you need for the cleanse. And if you have some of those issues, it can be a really good solution for that to try. Yeah, so basically anyone can very easily become an essential oil user. At first, it felt a little overwhelming to me. I didn't quite know how to use them. But look, use your common sense. Are you going to pour an entire bottle in your water and drink it? No, you're not going to do that. You just need a drop or two. They're very concentrated. There are tons of online resources that you can use for free to look up. Sometimes it's not even what it says in the book. I just have a feeling that, you know, I want a certain smell, or, you know, it's kind of weird that our intuition tells us what to use sometimes with the oils. Yeah, we just basically, we want to manage potential issues before they manifest. So it's preventative, but also when things do come up, we can use it as symptomatic support as well. And there is this book over here, the Modern Essentials book, that I referred to earlier. It's an amazing, amazing resource. I think everyone who uses oils should have it. And I have a bunch of these books. If anyone ever wants them, I can easily send you one if you're far away from me. I buy them in bulk, so I get a little bit of a cheaper price on them, just because you can look up tons of information, and then it's alphabetical in the back by ailment. You look up what to use, how to use it, how much to use, how often, all sorts of information like that. So it's really great. Let's skip that. Okay, so if there are essential oils that you're wanting to try, I'm going to tell you how to order them. So basically there are 2 ways. You can either purchase retail, or you can get a wholesale membership. So purchasing things retail, if you did pull up that price list, those prices will be on there. And that's a fine option if you just want to get 1 oil or 2 oils and you feel like you're probably not going to get any other oils this year, then buying them retail is fine. But if you want to get more oils than that, the best thing to do is get a wholesale membership. That gives you 25% off retail prices. There are a lot of other promotions that you can get, or you can opt into if you ever want to down the road. But you can also, with this account, you can earn sales commission. You can do it as a business. You can sponsor other people in. There are a lot of free online tools for that. But you don't have to do the business. No one's gonna try to get you to do the business if you're not interested in it. I mean, it's great. But when I signed up, I had 0 interest in the business, and I just wanted the cheaper prices. So I got the wholesale membership, and that's totally fine. Then there is the loyalty rewards program, and there is a really awesome promotion that has to deal with this right now. So basically the way that this works is it's a completely optional program, but it works really well because the wholesale membership is basically like Costco. So you're paying a fee in order to get the wholesale pricing, and then you always have that pricing. I think with Costco it's something like, I don't know, $40, $45, $50, something like that, and then you get a certain, you can shop there. With doTERRA, it's $35 for the wholesale membership, although if you purchase a kit, that fee is waived. And then this loyalty rewards is basically like a frequent flyer program. So you can earn a percentage back of each order, and those just generate points that go back into this little like doTERRA bank account, and then you can redeem those for whatever you want. So if you just look at this right here, so the first box, for your first 3 months that you're placing any loyalty rewards order every month, you're going to earn 10% back. So if that order is $100, you're going to get $10 back in like doTERRA dollars that you can spend on anything you want. The longer you're in it, this percentage goes up. So it goes up to 15, goes to 20, goes to 25, and then it maxes out at 30. I'm earning 30% back right now, and it's awesome. I just get tons of free stuff all the time. Those points will rack up really, really fast. And it's great. You can choose any products that you want at any time, so it doesn't have to be the same every month. I mean, that would be silly. You can earn unlimited credits. And then if you say like, I don't want to do this, you can cancel it. It's not like you're creepily locked into anything. It's so easy to cancel it if you don't want to do it anymore. I know there's so many companies now that, you know, you get on a monthly thing and you feel like you're stuck, and it's just really not like that. It's great. And I really found that it was for things I bought anyway, like toothpaste and hand soap and laundry detergent, skincare products. I'm obsessed with the doTERRA skincare line, the new one. You know, things to replace those over-the-counter drugs that you're buying every month. So it's a smart way to do it if you feel like this is going to be, you know, a big part of your lifestyle. Yeah, I know it's not a business class, but I normally just talk about this for a minute or two, just because my experience has been that as you use the oils and you find success with them, that you just naturally share them with people. That's certainly what happened to me. I wasn't looking for a business, but yeah, I stumbled into it, and now it's really great. So basically how this works is, and this is just one example of how you can earn money, but I think it's an easy one to understand. But if this is you and just say, okay, I'm ordering about $100 every month. Yay, okay, that's what I'm doing. If I end up sharing the oils with 3 people who also end up ordering $100 a month, in addition to all the other commissions, I'll make a $50 bonus. If each of those 3 people shares it with 3 people, you get a $250 bonus, and so on and so forth. If, you know, those 3 people do 3 people, then there's a $1,500 bonus, which is a significant amount of money to most people. Oh, and this is per month. So this isn't a one-time thing. This is every month. And I know when I first looked at this, I was like, well, this is a pyramid. It's a pyramid scheme. But it's not. I mean, it's not schemy. Of course, all companies are shaped like a pyramid. The person at the top of McDonald's makes the most, blah, blah, blah. But the good thing about something like this is that you really do it with your network. You're helping people out. People are helping you. And there's room for as many people at the top as want to get there. And then you're just helping your team. You're supporting your team. So it's not a, you know, a creepy, like, oh, if you sign up, then you'll help me. Da, da, da. So anyway, if anyone is ever interested in that, feel free to talk to me about it. It's great. Okay, so I'm going to talk about a couple of the kits. And if you want to look at these more in depth, you can Google doTERRA enrollment kits, and the first link will pop up there. You can, I'm not sure if you're able to click this or copy and paste this or whatever, but a little flyer will show up. But I'll talk about some of them. So one really good kit is the Natural Solutions Kit. If you're excited and you really want to get a bunch of stuff, this is a great kit. You save a lot of money. You save $90. Plus, if you set up a loyalty rewards order for the month after you order this one, you get 100 free product credits, and you're bumped up to that 15% LRP. So basically, you get $100 in free stuff when you get this kit, in addition to the $90 that you're saving off the wholesale prices. So this comes with a ton of oils, comes with the Lifelong Vitality supplements, and comes with the toothpaste, comes with that Deep Blue Rub, comes with a nice little box to put them in. Yeah, a bunch of oils. And then this is the Aroma Light Diffuser, which is my favorite diffuser. I have 2 of them. I love them. They're awesome. So that's the Natural Solutions Kit. Then there's the Family Physician Kit, which has most of the oils that we talked about today. You can see them on here. And these come in the 5 milliliter bottles. So those are smaller than, there are a couple oils that come in 5 milliliter normally, but most of the oils come in the 15. But only in this kit you can get them in the 5 milliliter. It's nice if you just kind of want to try things out first. And, you know, it's nice if you're not ready to make that big of an investment. I started out with this kit when I was in grad school. I was pretty poor, but I mean, this saved me a lot of doctor's visits. Yeah, so this one is $150. And again, that includes the wholesale membership. So you don't have to pay additionally for that. So anytime you want to order after this kit, whether you run out of an oil and you want to replace it, or or you just want to try some of the other oils or some of the other products, you still are getting that 25% off. Kind of a nice happy medium between those two is the Home Essentials kit. It has all of the oils that are in the Family Physician, but they are the 15 milliliter instead of the 5. So the Deep Blue is still the 5 milliliter. That one just comes that way, but all the other ones are bigger. And it comes with a pedal diffuser, which is a little bit smaller diffuser, but it's great for bedrooms and, you know, offices, smaller rooms, or if you have a small apartment or house, that's fine too. Yeah, so that's the Home Essentials kit. And then the cool thing going on this month is that it's just a little New Year's thing. And I know a lot of people that enrolled with this, and it's freaking awesome. So basically, if you order any order that's $100 or more, so that would include any of the kits. If you do that this month, and then you place a $100 loyalty order next month, you're going to get 100 free points. And actually, you'll have a little bit more points than that. I'm not sure if it's showing up. It looks like it got cut off. But you also get points back for shipping. Whatever your shipping costs, they refund that to you in points. So if your shipping was $5, you'll get 5 points. That'll go into your account. And then also you would get your percentage off next month's order. So you would actually end up getting like 125-ish free points. So that's a really good option too. You could get a kit this month, order a couple things next month, and then you're going to have $125 to just play around and order whatever you want. So the thing about this is that it has to be through a registered event for this, and this class is registered. So all that means is that if you wanted to take advantage of it, you just would want to enroll within 3 days of this class. So if you're interested in doing that, just contact me and I can help you either get one of the enrollment kits, or if you just wanted to get a couple things wholesale, just pick whatever you want. We can also do that. That's totally fine. But yeah, I mean, that's a really great thing they're doing in January. Again, totally optional. You don't have to do that, but it's great if you do. So that's it. I just like this little Voltaire quote: "The art of medicine consists in amusing the patient while nature cures the disease." Kind of true. So there's my email if you want to contact me. If you want to go poke around on the doTERRA website, that's my little personalized site right there. Yeah, so thanks for joining in on the call. And yeah, if you're interested in any of this or you have specific questions, feel free to contact me. Or if you have specific questions now about, you know, what you would use for anything, you can go ahead and chat. I know I do have a little chat box. I'm not sure if you're able to see that on YouTube or not, but you can always send me an email as well. So again, if you want to take advantage of that New Year, New You Gym Jam, this thing, it just has to be within 3 days. So I guess by the end of Tuesday, it would have to be. So yeah, so thanks so much for joining in on the webinar, and have a good night.